You. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the P&L show or Pablo and Leo show. What's up, Pablo?
What's up, Leo?
What's
How are
up?
you?
Good. No, not great. I feel like I have to apologize ahead of time if I cough in the middle of the podcast because I'm sick. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah.
Yeah, Leo's running into that fever.
Yeah.
Well, you did have a fever, you said, right?
Yeah, it started with a fever. Now it's better. I feel like maybe I'll be like back to normal in like 2 days or so, but
For the next podcast. Oh man, being sick sucks,
really does.
especially around the cold season. Well, I mean that's usually when most people get sick.
This is flu season usually, right? Around January, February-ish.
Is it?
I think so. That's why. Well,
Well, because
at
we're
least-
transitioning from winter to spring, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense. But this is when people usually get their flu shots now.
Yeah. A little update, guys. I think last podcast I said I was gonna go to the gym, or I wanted to go to the gym. I ended up going to the gym yesterday for the first time.
How was
And,
that, big boy? Lifting
was,
weights, showing off.
My my abdominal area burns when I laugh, and my thighs feel dead.
Well, yeah, you went on full leg day.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know why like so many people hate doing leg day at the gym. That's whenever like it never made sense to me. But then again, I always used to love running, so for me it was always like, hell yeah, leg
Mm.
power. bruh.
Like guys, like your friends don't like leg day or what?
Well, yeah, usually guys will talk about how they hate leg day. I don't know about girls because I don't know any girls that go to the gym.
Well, maybe it's because I feel like for the guys, the main thing they want to focus on is like their upper body strength and
Get them
shit.
pecs.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily because like they don't like leg day. Maybe it's more because they just don't really give a fuck. But then it just looks off if you don't work on your legs too. Cause
You're gonna have a
chicken
big
legs
body.
is- yeah.
Yeah, chicken legs.
Mhm. But yeah, my thighs fucking burn like to the max. I woke up, I was literally like, I slept so uncomfortably because every time I had to turn to my side, I was like, fuck. Like, it took me like a whole 10 seconds to turn, bro. But yeah, my abdomen hurts the most. Other than that, it was like, was okay. It was a good experience.
I remember that. I'm surprised your quads don't hurt.
What are your quads?
Your
And your
quads are like
thighs?
right here.
Oh no, yeah, that hurts. That's what I mean. Like all of this, all of like the my upper leg area hurts.
Because usually when I went hard on my leg day, yeah, it was mainly my quads that would like hurt so
Mhm.
much.
And I mean, I get intimidated to go to the gym. 'Cause-
You see all these like buff people, like
Mhm.
more experienced.
I maybe it's just 'cause I felt like lost. Like, I mean, I was doing the legs or whatever, so that was fine. But I don't know. I feel like I needed someone to show me, like, oh, this machine like does this, even though it tells you there. But you know, it's just better to go with a friend that already knows what they're doing, that has been to the gym and shit. I feel like that would have been cool. But I mean, I figured it out. I'm gonna go again. Just gotta keep it up and shit. But
Gotta stay active.
and I gotta sweat out this sickness 'cause this motherfucker doesn't want to leave me and shit.
You gotta drink that NyQuil, DayQuil,
Yeah.
the severe.
That shit doesn't even work, bro. I swear. I told you. Well, I told you this before the podcast that yeah, I knew I was getting sick 'cause I was feeling that cold feeling you get when you're getting a fever. So ahead of time, I was literally drank medicine that entire fucking day. I was drinking medicine. I even drank tea, everything. And then I woke up the next fucking day. It was worse. Ended up getting a cough out of nowhere. Got a sore throat. Fucking bullshit ass body, bro. I swear to God.
It's taking it out of you. That's why it's more like noticeable now.
But that's the thing that always bugged me about medicine. That you would think, I don't know if you've ever had a case where it did work, but you would think if you take medicine ahead of time that it wouldn't get worse. But in my experience, it always does, no matter what. Like sometimes I know I'm getting a fucking headache. Like I feel the smallest little headache coming, so I take something ahead of time. But throughout the day, it just gets worse and worse. So it's like, what the fuck is up one of the medicine? Then it's not doing anything.
No, usually when I'm sick, I sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like a month ago where I got really sick,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I started drinking like Theraflu more. And since I worked a night shift,
Mm.
wait, no, this was like when my job for some reason decided to give me like 3 days off, like
Mm-hmm.
consecutively. So and I it just happened to get sick
There you
those
go.
3 days. And so all I was doing was just sleeping, like
Mm.
sleeping like 12 plus hours.
Damn.
So like since I was kind of used to sleeping in the day already, I would like take my Theraflu, but
Mm-hmm.
I would be like so sleepy after I drank it.
Mm.
So I would fall asleep, and then I would get up because I was hungry, and then
Yeah.
I would just go straight back to sleep the next day, and I'd sleep so much.
And you're getting sick right now too, huh?
Yeah, right now I'm starting to get like a little sore throat.
There we go.
But that's also because like since throughout the week I work in like the freezer and
Mm.
then in the fridge and stuff, so like jumping out into warm temperature and
And
then
then
back
back
into
into
there,
the
it's not the best for your body temperature.
and it'll only get worse. Like I'm sure right now you feel well, hopefully it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow it'll probably wake up like with a even worse fucking
I hope not. I
sore
mean,
throat.
tomorrow I got my day off, so hopefully
Like I'm trying to enjoy it, huh?
I'm trying to like rest properly. I mean, fuck it, I'll call off.
For real, huh?
No, recently I actually did call off because I got food poisoning.
Oof. Like
So I finally have come to realize that I think McDonald's is no longer my friend.
what you eat?
I had the buttermilk chicken tenders,
Uh-huh.
but like yeah, I think it was just that because I mean I'm lactose,
Hmm.
and the fact that it's buttermilk kind of
Yeah.
made me sick because I woke up and like I just had like the nastiest stomach ache. I started throwing up. And then I just felt like super dizzy and tired. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this today. Like, I'm calling off. I'm just going to stay home and rest.
When was this? Like a couple days ago?
This was last week.
Fucking rip.
Because my brother was like, hey, let's just go get McDonald's. Because my mom didn't like make food for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right. Because I was already like, I'm not going to fuck with McDonald's no more. Because no me cae bien.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I'll try one last time.
Like,
But
just
then
to
it
test
just
it,
destroyed me
There
even
you
more.
go.
And that's why I was like, yeah, I'm hanging the coat here. This
Like,
ain't it, chief.
like by McDonald's, huh? Rest in peace.
Your cookies are still bomb.
I've never even tried their cookies.
What?
Nah, I don't know.
Well,
Why?
I just eat the chocolate cookies.
I don't really like. One thing a lot of people are gonna hate me saying is I don't like chocolate. Like,
Oh, I thought you were about to say I don't like cookies. I'm about to fuck you up.
well, I don't like cookies except Oreos.
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't like.
Wait.
I don't like Chips Ahoy. None
Do
of
you
that
just eat
bullshit.
cookies like that, or you dip in the milk?
With the Oreos,
Yeah.
I dip them in milk, bro.
Alright, you better. You know what's something that I found interesting, but I never tried is putting peanut butter on your Oreos.
Oh,
Cause,
I don't even like peanut butter, bro.
Cause I had a friend who used to do that. Like they said they didn't like eating peanut butter at all unless it was with Oreos.
Ah,
I never tried it myself, but I was like,
that's some choro. That's some diarrhea moment right there, bro.
Pues I don't know, but it was something interesting that I thought like
Like try it, huh? One day. And shit.
maybe.
Have you ever had any other cases of like food poisoning that you ate something and it was bad, like diarrhea, everything and shit?
Well, this was actually like last week too, but I was going to sleep. It was like 2 p.m. because I had work like at 11. And sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll take like sleeping pills or I'll drink like the sleeping aid liquid. And I didn't eat anything bad, but I got this like sudden urge, like I had to use the restroom, but it's like it was like a pain that hurt, and then it's just diarrhea came out.
Oh shit!
I was like, what? I was like, I didn't even eat anything bad. I was like, was it the sleeping aid? But I was like, I've drank this like a couple other times. It never did this before. And it just surprised me how sudden it was. Like, just wapa. Like, it just started hurting out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I gotta run. Like, I'm not gonna make it if I don't run.
I think the one case of food poisoning I ever had. I went to fucking Salvador on vacation because, like, well, my dad, well, I didn't even want to go, but they had already bought us tickets or whatever, the flight tickets. And I remember because when we're there, we usually eat like typical, like, huevo, frijol, whatever. And then I remember one day we asked, like, oh, do they sell any, like, burgers around here? Anyone make burgers? And then they're like, yeah, there's this, like, woman around the neighborhood, like, she has, like, a burger stand or whatever the fuck.
Oh no, this sounds bad
And
already.
we ate that shit, and the burger wasn't that bad, like, itself. I was like, there's no in and out, but, like, it's good enough. And then I went to sleep. We went to sleep in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. I fucking, damn, bro. My stomach was burning. I went to the fucking bathroom. I literally diarrhea and puked at the same time. Like, I'm not even shitting you. As soon as the diarrhea came out, the puke came out. And I, like, it was so embarrassing because I, like, projectile kind of, like, on the door of the bathroom. And it was, like, all over the floor. It was, like, a bunch of puke. I'm not even fucking around. And then, I guess my cousin heard that I was, like, puking or some shit, but I was hoping not to wake anyone up and just clean it up somehow. But so once I was done, I, like, opened the door and that fool was right there, and he would, like, saw all my, like, puke and shit. And I was just fucking embarrassed. And then the worst part is, like, he ended up calling my tia too, because she was, like, in the other room, and, like, they ended up cleaning it, not even me. But I was just like, fuck, like, I
Like,
felt so bad because I literally threw up, like, on the walls, basically, bro. And yeah, that day was just bad. I ended up taking, like, I don't know, what's the thing that melts in the water? That's, like, fizzy.
Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah, like one of those. And then I went to sleep, and luckily I woke up fine.
Or
like, the
Picot?
next day. Yeah, Picot. But
I tried Picot and that thing made me throw up.
did it really?
Yeah.
Isn't it the same thing as Alka-Seltzer?
I don't know what it is. Like, I can handle Alka-Seltzer, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna try Picot because, like, it's the same thing. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drank it, and then, like, 2 minutes later, bleh, that thing just came straight out. I was like, well, there's no point in that.
Picot. That's, like, the green one, right? It has,
the
like, a
green
green packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I drank that, not Alka-Seltzer, because we're in Salvador. But yeah, luckily I woke up fine the next day. But that day I was just like, fuck, I just wanted to go home already, because
The food already was ruined.
I was already
for
like,
you.
fuck this. And I think I had one, like, because that was the second time I went to Salvador. The first time I went, I also had food poisoning, but it wasn't, like, that big. I think I just had, like, diarrhea, but not even, like, a big amount, and, like, that's it. So this time was definitely, like, worse. And that's why if I ever go back, I'm just fucking scared, because I'm not trying to
Die again.
puke again and shit. So yeah, fuck that shit.
Oh, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's worse for you?
No.
Throwing up or having diarrhea?
Throwing up. Yeah,
Throwing up is worse?
Throwing up is worse. Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like throwing up ends faster, like, it lasts less. But
Wait, you're saying throwing up is worse or not as bad?
no, throwing up's worse.
Oh, okay.
Because it lasts less than having diarrhea. Because diarrhea, you can get it consistently throughout the day, but that feeling you get of, like, I don't know, just gagging over and over, I fucking hate that thing. And then it ends up, after you're done puking, sometimes it ends up leaving, like, a burn sensation in your throat and just a nasty ass taste in your mouth. Obviously, you, like, brush your teeth after or something, but
Well, I don't know about you, but usually after I throw up, like, I always feel super dizzy. Like, I'm about to faint.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I get so nauseous, and I'm just like,
Yeah, like, you just feel out of it and shit.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, I'm done for the day.
Yeah, but definitely that. I don't know, I just hate that feeling of gagging over and over till, like, something comes out.
You know what I hate? When, like, you're throwing up, like, you're getting that sensation, but nothing comes out.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
just gagging
So you're
the
just
whole time.
you're just gagging, and, like, just spitting in the sink,
Yeah,
but
I'm
nothing
just
comes out.
like it's so you're just left with that horrible feeling, like
Mhm.
like
Like at least if I'm gonna gag, like something come out, please. So I don't just keep gagging and shit.
like I hate that, and I also hate when like your phlegm won't come out,
Mm.
like when you're sick,
Mhm.
and then you're just like,
That's literally what's happening to me right now. I have to like every time I'm at home, I just keep like clearing my throat and
like
trying.
it'll get stuck and just like get all
Mhm.
nasty in your throat.
No, I got a better one. Wait, hold on. Before, what's worse for you, diarrhea or vomiting?
Uh, well, I mean, I feel like I'm too used to diarrhea at this point because of my fucking stomach,
Used to it.
because of being lactose,
Mm-hmm.
and since like my stomach has gotten like so sensitive now, so it's like I pretty much I'm taking a risk with whatever I decide to eat.
Mm.
So yeah, probably vomiting would be worse for me.
Mm.
Like I just hate vomiting. Like
Like the same, the feeling, huh? Like
yeah, especially
over
like
and
when
over.
you're drunk too. That's probably like one of the worst vomitings too.
When you're drunk. Okay, okay. Here's the harder one that like I've asked a bunch of people, and surprisingly, it's like 50-50. Even though for me, there's a clear winner. Is like, would you rather have a severe stomach ache or a severe headache? And I mean severe, none of that like
Like
barely.
migraine.
Mm-hmm. Like severe, motherfucker. Like where you feel like a bodybuilder's punching your brain and shit.
I feel like I'd rather have a headache.
Why?
Because most of the time I could sleep it off. But with a stomach ache, if I go to sleep and I wake up,
Mm-hmm.
most likely that stomach ache is gonna turn into diarrhea. Because it's happened to me so many times where I've had like a big stomach ache. I'll take like
Mm-hmm.
some medicine. I'll be like, I'm gonna take a quick nap. Then I wake up and like chorro right there.
Chorro, bro.
And I'm just like, like I don't know. Like I just do not like stomach aches at all. Like I know I just said like, at this point I'd probably be used to the diarrhea, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it.
That's true.
So
Well, you got the same. You got the same answer as me. I always say, I'd rather have a headache than a stomach ache.
well, 'cause I could lie down too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, yeah, I'll probably feel the throbbing even worse, but at least that way I could just like fall asleep.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, I feel like yeah, 'cause when you have a headache, yeah, I usually just nap, and it slowly starts to go away.
Take some Tylenol.
Yeah, but when I have a stomach ache, it just burns. Like I don't know, it feels weird. It's like a bloated type of feeling.
Yeah,
and-
like sometimes I'd be like trying to hit my stomach because
yeah,
it just
me
feels
too.
so bad. I'm like get the fuck out.
Exactly. That's literally what I do, and I have.
Or sometimes what I used to do is I would drink like Coke to like kind of try to burp it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it would work, but not all the time.
Mm.
But that was something I used to do.
Is that something like supposed to help, or you just do that like 'cause you think it's gonna help?
I remember one time my mom was like, "Oh, maybe like you have gas, and like you just like tienes aire or something like that." That's what she used to tell me. She'd be like, "Oh, here, drink some Coke."
Mm.
And that one time I did it, it actually did help.
Coke.
Yeah, 'cause Coke was usually the thing that like had the most gas,
Mm.
so it helped in that occasion. But
Or
it's not gonna always solve the problem.
yeah. Have you ever had like a sore throat that every time you swallow it fucking hurts?
Yeah,
Those
those
things
are
are
the
a bitch.
worst.
Those things are a bitch 'cause it's like you can't even enjoy food or anything 'cause it fucking
or
hurts.
water.
That's so unnatural. Like you can't even swallow your own like fluid basically 'cause then it just like it just hurts. It's like a pain, like a sharp pain in your throat. That shit's a bitch, bro.
Yeah, 'cause like whenever I'm sick, I drink lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I have that occasion where my throat just hurts to swallow anything, and 'cause most of the time the water's cold,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like, ugh. It's
So
just a nasty pain.
you're supposed to drink like warm water though, no? Or like room temperature.
Well, yeah,
When
usually
you
I
have,
just
like-
grab like a bottle,
Mm-hmm.
like in the room temperature, and I just drink it.
But it sucks 'cause it's like when I drink water, I don't want that shit hot or like warm. I mean, like I've been having to just put warm water in my glass for the past couple of days 'cause
Well, I mean, that's basically what tea is almost.
Oh, fuck tea, bruh. Don't get me started with tea, bruh.
The only
I
tea I've
hate
ever
tea.
liked is Theraflu tea.
Theraflu has a tea?
Well, that's what it is.
Theraflu is tea?
Yeah.
I thought Theraflu was like a one of those medicines from like Rite Aid that you're supposed to like.
No, it's tea.
What the fuck?
That's what I told you to get.
Theraflu.
Yeah, dude, that thing like knocked me out. Like I felt so relaxed
Mhm.
and like I slept so good.
Is it like supposed to make you drowsy or something?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
but it was like a daytime medicine.
And it still made you drowsy?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna
Damn.
knock out. That's the thing that made me like sleep like 12 hours.
What the fuck?
That I just ended up just getting up to eat and then I went back to sleep.
Theraflu.
Man, I'll
Fuck,
show you some right after.
Like, that's another thing that sucks when you get sick. You gotta buy the
Medicine.
medicines, but like you gotta buy the right ones, cause obviously if you get some like off-brand 99 cents bullshit, that's not
Just
gonna
buy
help
the Mexican ones.
you. The Mexican ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I'm Mexican. Don't hate on me.
Fucking yeah, I know you're supposed to take Halls too, but well, I have the honey ones, or like what's the yellow ones or orange? I don't know what color they are, but I feel like they don't really ever help.
Yeah, that's why whenever someone tells me about their cough drops, I'm always like, "Are you doing it wrong, bro? You gotta get the white ones." The
What
white
flavor
Halls.
is that?
I don't remember the flavor, but it's like when you. I always compare it to when you put on Vaporu. Like, do you know how like
They like smell?
yeah, because
Mm.
it feels like having that smell, but in a cough drop. So like when your
Damn.
nose feels all blocked or your throat just feels all weird, you take that and you kind of just feel like wapa, like everything just cleared up.
I need to buy those then. Every time we buy Halls, we buy the yellow ones, and they don't help at all, bro.
Nah, trust me, you gotta get the white ones. Halls doesn't sponsor me, but trust me, I've been sick enough times where I was like, I'm fucking tired of not being able to sniff the air
Mm-hmm.
and having to be like all clogged up when I'm talking.
Uh-huh.
And then when I finally tried those ones, I don't remember how I tried them. I'm pretty sure like someone in the house bought them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ended up taking them. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Mm.
I'm hopping on the white train.
The white train. Like, have you ever been sick and like you look it up online to try and find like a remedy?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say seeing what's wrong with you. I was like,
No.
no.
You know, well, that too. I was about to get there. Like, and then you end up finding yourself on like a website that tells you like, oh, you might have a throat cancer or something like that and shit.
No, So the thing when it comes to like symptoms that I might have, I always look at multiple like sources.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't just look at one. I'm like, that's God's word.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to be like, okay, let me
That's
see
God's
this.
word.
Let me see this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
If they all add up together, then okay. But nah, you can't trust the internet because you said they could just be like, hey, you got throat cancer, and you'll be like, fuck.
No, bro. One time I freaked the fuck out when I had like a fever. I remember because I think there's a certain amount of days that like supposedly if you still have a fever past that amount of days, it's like they tell you to go to the
Yeah.
and it's like I had a fever for a while, and I remember I looked it up online because I'm like, fuck, I still got a fever, and I scared the fuck out of myself because I was reading about it, and then something about I might have a parasite in my brain, and I was like, I got fucking scared, bro. I was like, if tomorrow I still have a fucking fever, I'm going to the hospital. But luckily, by the next day, my temperature had gone down. I think I still had a fever, but barely over. I was like 98 point something, like 98.7. But that's why since then I stayed away from that shit because I always get scared that like if I look something up, they're gonna tell me I die in like 3 days or something like that.
I mean, if you have a fever for that long, I would just go to the doctor. Because at that point, they could give you like a higher dose of like cough syrup or something.
I'm scared of doctors though. I am.
I haven't been to the doctor in a while.
And you're not scared of going back?
The only thing I'd probably be scared of getting is arthritis.
That's the finger thing, right? Like your hand stiff?
It's kind of like, it has something to do with like your bones weakening or something. Something about your bones. But that's what I feel like I would end up getting in the future. because since I do a lot of physical labor, so I'm like wearing out myself like more than the average person, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in terms of like my back.
No. I just get scared because, like, well, yeah, because I haven't been there since like sophomore or junior year of high school was like the last time I went to the doctor. So I feel like if I go back, everything is gonna be wrong with me, like everything possible, bro. It's fucking scary.
Well, I mean, the sickest I've been was in senior year. I don't know if you remember, like around the time where there would be weeks where I only came to school like 2 days.
No, I don't remember. But what happened?
I had started to like get some bronchitis in my system,
Oof.
and I don't even know where it came from, but like I got hit hard with sickness. Like I was scared. I was sick for about almost a month and a half. Like it was just not going away. And it even surprised some people too. They were like, "Damn, you're still sick?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." It's like there are days where like, and it scared me because there were nights where I would wake up like at 1 in the morning and I'd start throwing up. Like there's a point where I was like throwing up blood.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, I couldn't breathe. At sometimes when I was coughing, like I would like start gasping for breath. So I was like, this ain't just like any sickness.
So you went to the doctor?
Yeah, I went to the doctor, and then this is what kind of like pissed me off a little bit when I got to the doctor, because I was concerned. I was like, maybe it could be bronchitis, because I had looked like at different sources, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till the doctor says something. Like I'm gonna ask him if like this has anything to do with bronchitis. And like he did a lot of tests on me. They gave me stronger medicine. But then I was like, hey, so like, is this a case of bronchitis? Is this something like a fever? He's like, yeah, you got a small case of bronchitis. I'm like, bro, how can you say that so casually?
For real?
I'm like,
you're like, I'm dying
gasping
over here.
for air here at times. I was coughing all blood here and there, and you're just saying like, yeah, it's a little bit of bronchitis. I'm like, fuck you. Give my medicine for free at this point, saying this kind of bullshit.
Isn't bronchitis just like basically a severe ass cough and shit? Like a super painful cough?
It has something to do with that. And then it could lead, I don't quite remember. It can lead to like something bad happening to your lungs or something. I'm not sure.
What the fuck?
But I remember like a lot of times I was coughing and I was dying. And then like I felt like, it always felt weird right here, like on my, like around my throat. Like it felt more worse than usual. But I just remember in class, I was just like, oh, I don't even want to be here. Like I just feel so sick. Like I said, I only came like 2 days out of the week sometimes.
You got in trouble or what?
No, because it was obvious when I came to class that I was dying. That it like even in class, there were times where I was coughing like long periods of times, and I was just sneezing a lot, and I was just like. And then when I was at home, all I was doing was just in bed eating soup.
Just go to the school nurse. Just go to the school nurse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, school nurses were so unreliable. Like, they were never there.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, aren't the school nurses supposed to be there every day? Like, in case something happens?
I mean, I would think so. But they were only ever there, like, once a week.
I remember I only went there once. And I forgot for what. I think I just said I had a headache, and like I think they just put an ice pack on my forehead, and that's it. But they don't do anything else, bro.
They're not reliable at all.
Yeah, I think one time I had like a fever when I was in the middle of school when we were in like class. So I remember I went to the office and I told them like, oh, like if I could call my dad so he could pick me up and shit. And they let me leave. And that day was fucking hell, cause you know how when you have a fever you're just fucking freezing, and so the whole day I just like, I was just in my boxers, cause I think that's the way to cure it, right? You're not supposed to cover yourself, or cover yourself like as little as you can, something like that, right?
Oh, really?
Well, that's what my mom's always told me, like, cause obviously if you have a fever, your body's hot but you feel cold, so you're not supposed to taparte más or whatever, like put more blankets on. So my mom always used to tell me like, oh, if you have a fever, like sleep in your boxers, because obviously you'll like all the air would like cool down your body or something, because you're not covering yourself anymore.
Never heard of that before. I would always just cover myself like crazy.
And so,
Like to the point where, well, on the moments where you would have that mood of like you feel like you're freezing, I would just cover myself up like all the way up.
mhm.
But then like after my nap, I would wake up and I was sweating like crazy.
yeah, like you leave like a sweat mark on your bed
Oh, yeah.
and shit. But yeah, and so,
Well, I when you're done being sick or when it's like gone, do you change your sheets?
yeah.
Okay, 'cause I was about to say, if you don't do that, bro, you might get sick again.
Or like I like wash
Lo
them.
vas
Like
a pasar.
I wash the blanket, or what's it called, the pillow case, pillow sheet, whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cause then I'd be sneezing and I get boogers on that fucking thing. But yeah, and so that's usually what I do, and then it's just hell, cause I get fucking cold, but I just sleep just like that on top of all the blankets, and then it works. I feel like it works. I don't know if it's just one of those things that like you think it works, like because you think it works, it's working.
It's a placebo
Yeah,
effect.
exactly. But I mean, that's what I always do. But it's like the worst remedy, cause, well, yeah, cause you're fucking freezing. All you want is more blankets, and it doesn't. I can't fucking do that shit.
No, yeah. Whenever I like feel sick, it's always just I feel cold. It's
Mm.
never like I feel so hot.
Mm.
At least like in the recent times I went sick. 'Cause I don't get sick too often. I only get sick usually like once or twice a year,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm lucky.
If I'm for real, huh?
But at most it's like 3.
Yeah,
And it's always around the winter.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, 'cause you only get sick. You just said you only get sick like 3 times a year, right? Around there. Yeah, me too. It's like a weird thing. It's like,
And it's
I remember-
worse if you get sick in the summer.
why?
For me, it always feels sick because one, I already hate the heat.
Mm.
Like I'm not a huge fan of the summer because I don't have any AC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me.
But like, especially for some reason when I have a fever like around the summer, it's just like it enhances the heat even more.
Mm-hmm.
So on top of it being hot and already stripping down, like I have to strip down even more because I have a fever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I might as well be butt naked in my bed because it's just that hot.
Fucking.
I hate the heat so much, dude. It's just,
in the summer.
yeah, I'm just like, I mean, all I do is wear tank tops and shorts, but it's like, I'm tired.
Like, I don't think people see AC as a privilege. It's like a gift if your house has AC.
Yeah, dude,
Cause
because like my fan can't do it all.
yeah, it gets like at that point during the summer just blows in hot air, so you're like, it's not fucking helping.
It's like you're just making it worse, bruh. You're accelerating the heat in here.
Usually, when it's summer and it gets way too fucking hot, I literally just lay down in the tub. I don't even like fill it up or take a bath with like cold water or anything. I just lay down in the tub because, what I don't know what material's the tub made of. What the fuck is that? Like porcelain or whatever.
I don't know.
So I usually lay down on that because it's fucking, because it's cold, and I just literally lay down there the whole time. One time my dad came home and he like took a piss and he didn't know I was in the bathtub, and he was just like, "What the fuck?" Because he was here. Because I was just like, "Hey," after he got like all scared as shit. That shit was fucking funny. Oh wait, unrelated to being sick. Did I ever tell you the story of fucking the time that I threw all the eggs that we had in the fridge in the bathroom?
What?
No.
No.
I got 2 stories for you when we were younger, and I think it was the same year too, so we got in trouble twice pretty hard. One, I think we were like 5.
Los huevos.
We were like 5 or so, or younger, I don't know, but we had just learned about the sick ass story of Humpty Dumpty, right? So we got home from school. My mom took a nap, and she's just like, "Alright, I'm gonna take a nap real quick. Like, don't do anything stupid, basically." So we're like, okay, we're gonna do something stupid. So we took the eggs out of the fucking fridge. It was a bunch of eggs. And we first literally started off by just like putting it on top of the sink and like knocking it over. We're like, Humpty Dumpty found or whatever the fuck. And then we're just like, fuck it. So we got all the eggs, and we literally threw them on the ceiling, on the mirror, in the bathtub, in the toilet, on the door. So, like, probably like an hour later or an hour and a half later, my mom woke up from her nap. She got fucking mad. She's like, "What the fuck?" Because she said she said that when she walked into the bathroom, an egg fell on her fucking head, bro. An egg fell on her head, and then we got our fucking asses beat that day because I think
I know your mom, so I just picture like what she was saying in my head.
So she got fucking mad, bro. And then I remember the reason she got mad too was because she had told me, like, well, not too recently, but when obviously, like, sometimes you like tell stories again. She was like, I got more mad because she had just bought the eggs before she picked us up from school because we didn't have any. And then the same year is kind of the same situation. She fell asleep, and so she didn't learn. So me and Matthew, we went in her wallet, right?
No.
Or I think, I don't know if it was her wallet or we just went in her room, but we knew we found some cash, a bunch of cash, right? Like a good amount of money. And we sat on the table and did arts and crafts with the money. We cut it with scissors and we put glue on those motherfuckers. And we basically literally just shredded the fuck out of all the cash and threw it in the trash. And so my mom woke up and she's like, what the fuck is all this money doing in the trash? And then I remember that whole afternoon she spent it trying to tape the money together because we had shredded it. But those were the two stories that, like, my mom got fucking furious at us, bro.
Pinche huevo.
That shit landed on like fucking forehead, bro.
¿Y qué pasó aquí, mijo?
Pretty much. She woke up, she's like, what the fuck happened? But other than that, I feel like
Oh man.
the only other, I guess, kind of crazy story is we tripped over a PlayStation 2 control and knocked down the whole TV from like this kind of tall
Wait,
dresser she
did
had.
you ruin the TV?
Yeah, we fucked up the TV.
Oh my god.
I think we fucked up the PlayStation 2 also. But yeah, those are some childhood adventures.
The grim adventures of Billy and Mandy.
You got any stories where like your mom got fucking mad at you? Or like you did something when you were a kid that you got in trouble?
It probably would have been walking home by myself.
Walking home? How does that get you to trouble, just walking home?
Well, so my mom had barely started trusting me to walk home by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because we weren't that far from the school. And one day my parents, like, didn't show up to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, maybe they just, I guess this is one of those days where they want me to just go home by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk home, but no one's there. So I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, I'll just wait until someone, like, comes. Because I knocked even, too. I was like, oh, so I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone here. But it turns out they were running late. So they came, and then they didn't see me, so they started to panic.
Oh, no.
And then they already had picked up they took my brother and my sister, so that's when no one was home, too. And then I was like, okay. But then, like, when I was just sitting outside of my door, I started hearing, like, a voice talking to me. Like, someone's like, I see you, kid.
What
I can see you. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, am I hearing things?
Uh-huh.
So, like, I just ignored it. I was like, whatever. Because I was doing homework
Mm-hmm.
to kill time. And then I hear it again. It's like, I can see you, kid. I see you reading your book.
Like a scary story.
Yeah, but it was like a high pitch. It was like, I can see you, kid. Like some voice like that. And I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, fuck this. I was like, I don't know if this place haunted or someone just, like, messing with me, but I don't care.
Uh-huh.
And then right when I'm walking out the door, like I hear it again. They're like, "I see you, kid, walking out the door." I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I'm out." I just
Wait,
like,
where were you at?
I was in Lafayette.
What the fuck?
This is like an old place where I used to live, but like that creeped me out. And then there was a swap meet nearby, so I was
Mhm.
like, I'm not going back by myself. I'm gonna go to the swap meet.
Mhm.
And then there was this part in the swap meet that like they sold games, like old Game Boy games, old like PS2 games. So I was just there like linking all the games.
Mhm.
And then I just hear someone say Junior, and I was like, what the fuck? And it
Mhm.
was my sister calling me.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, someone found me.
No, but
So and then she's like, oh, we're waiting for you outside. We've been looking for you all over. So I was like, oh, okay. And then when I got in the car, my mom was so pissed at me.
because she was
She's
like
like,
all scared, huh?
"Ya
That you got
dónde
like robbed
estabas?"
and shit.
And she was like, who told you to walk home? Cause they're like, we went home. I was like, I was at home, but like I heard a voice, and then I got scared, so I went to the swap meet. But like they didn't believe me. They thought I was like making shit up or something.
So,
And then my sister was like, I was like, maybe we should get him a phone so that way this doesn't happen
and
again.
that's when you got your first phone.
No, and then that's when my mom was like, nah, what he needs is a spanking.
What?
That's what he needs. I was like, oh shit. And then I actually ended up getting grounded.
For walking home.
Yeah, 'cause like it was a
Bruh.
misunderstanding. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm never walking home again.
Did you ever find out if it was a ghost or like
No,
a person?
I just thought it was creepy. I was just like, I don't know what happened that day.
What the fuck?
It was definitely really creepy though. Like, I mean, just hear a voice like that talking to me, and I'm by myself.
Mhm.
So it was creepy as fuck.
I can't believe that's like you got punished for something like that. Well, I mean, I feel like I do some idiotic things when I was younger, so it makes sense that I got in trouble.
I think it's the only thing I can remember. I mean, I remember one time I got grounded for the rest of my 8th grade till high school.
What the fuck?
But that was because I told my parents I was going out and like I was gonna hang out, but like
Mhm.
that was a lie. I was actually I told them I was gonna go play soccer with some friends, which was
Mhm.
a lie. Cause I was actually gonna I was actually gonna go hang out with my girlfriend at the time.
Mhm.
But I ended up coming back later than I had promised,
Mhm.
and then I lost my bus pass.
Ah, rip.
So my mom's like, "All right, so you can't go out till you start high school."
What?
I was like, "Really?" Just like that?
This is like a joke, bro.
And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You lost your bus pass. You didn't even come home on time. You didn't call us. You didn't say anything."
Mm.
So I was like, "Yeah."
You think you'll be the same when you're a parent?
I feel like I would be more open with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be like, all right, so what's the plan? Like, what is it you plan to do?
Would you want your kid to be like straight up with you, like, or would you want there to be like
I would want them to be as straight up as they can be with me.
So what?
But I would try to make it obvious that they can come to me whenever they need to, because I mean, I'm not trying to like put heat on my parents, but I didn't always feel that way
Mm-hmm.
growing up. I always felt sort of like I was on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But that was more of because like I never was mature enough to be like, hey, these people want to help you. You're not a burden.
Mm.
And that's something that I hope to have that lesson when I have my own kids in the future, to try to provide an environment where they feel comfortable. Not to say my parents did it.
Yeah.
But it's something that I would definitely want to do.
Okay, so do you think, okay, you're a parent, right? Do you think there's a difference if you were like you had a kid, like a guy, a boy?
Oh, okay, I know what you'd ask. Like, is there different ways you would treat your son over your daughter?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
That'd be hard. Like, I feel like I would need a lot of like talking to do with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I can never be like, okay, I know how a girl is, like how they'd probably think what they go through, because I'm not a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a lot of, I would need a lot of support from my wife. Like I'd be like, how can I help? How can I make things easier for her?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to just be like no relationship between her and me.
Mm.
I want it to be like a team effort.
That's true. That's true. For so, but so you don't. So okay. So what would be the difference, like that you think, if you caught, let's just say your son, fucking when you got home or something, or you catching your daughter, fucking a guy when you got home? What's the difference there? How do you react as a parent in both scenarios?
Well, first of all, I'd probably be that person that walks in, sees it, and then walks out because I'd have to process it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like everyone's raw reaction to that would be
Like, get out.
like what the fuck,
Like, get mad and shit.
like shock.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, it depends on how old they are at the time I catch them.
Mm.
Like I feel like 16 and up wouldn't surprise me too much because I grew up in an environment where people even like around 15 and up were already losing their virginity.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be too surprising to me. Like once you're in high school, I feel like that's when most people lose it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's where it probably wouldn't affect me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be like, you know what, just finish your business and we'll talk about this after.
Finish your business. Even to your daughter?
Well, I mean, are you really going to walk in there and stop them in the middle of it? That's kind of awkward to me. Like, let me go grab his dick and pull him out. Or in his case, like, grab my son's dick and pull him out. Because I can't do anything to the person that's not my child.
So then do you think it's wrong or like dumb for the parents that react that way, that they're like, oh, fucking mad and shit?
Well, the other question is, are you all being safe?
No, they're not being safe.
If they're not being safe, you're getting an ass whooping.
Like, I don't want you getting pregnant, motherfucker.
Some be like, you know who's gonna pay for all those diapers? You are, my friend. Like, I already did this once.
Very.
Nah, like in all realness though, I would still try to help them though. But I would still be like, you know what, this ain't free though. Like, you gotta put in effort.
What about scenario where like they're drinking and smoking and they're like 15?
I definitely would take. It's hard because I think I would do everything in my power to show them the result of them diving into that so early. Like, I would show them what can possibly happen. Like, in my case, my grandpa is an alcoholic, so I would just probably use him as an example to them. Be like, do you really want to end up where half the time you smell of alcohol and that's all people will think of when they see you and just like have the thought of you in their heads? And since my grandpa's drinking all the time, we all just picture him when he's drunk. So it's like, is that the message you want people to see when they think of you? Like, you're just an alcoholic?
That's true. But what about the smoking side?
The smoking. I don't know, because I used to be so against the smoking thing. Because I used to have a girlfriend that I completely was against the smoking. But over time, I kind of just let it go. Because I was like, you know what? As long as it's just weed, I guess it's okay. But the moment I see you doing cigarettes, I'm going to address it. Because that can fuck you up pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, now with e-cigarettes being the talk of the town.
Fuck that shit.
I don't know what to think of at this point. So
you would be okay.
Hard.
So you would be okay then if you caught him smoking weed, or would you still like be like mad-ish?
I'd be mad they're doing it so early. Like, I feel like maybe if you were like 17, 18, because I feel like the other thing, I would feel like I failed them as a parent because they're turning to that
Mhm.
instead of just like having a conversation with me. And the fact that I had to find out instead of having them being able to tell me
Mhm.
would be another like feeling of failure.
So you would think it's your fault that they're turning to that stuff. Like by default, you wouldn't think it's like because they just enjoy it or something.
Well, if they're not able to tell me, like if they feel like, oh, like I can't tell them because, you know, they might get mad or something.
Mm.
Like as long as we're able to talk about it in an, like, I guess in a normal conversation,
Mhm.
like we can bring it up without having that awkward tension
Yeah, where you
that
feel
you
like you're
usually
about to
have.
fight and shit. Uh huh.
Yeah, you're like someone is like the tension's so tight
Mhm.
where like anything's gonna set it off. But I don't know. That's a tough question. But I mean, I'll cross that bridge once I get to it. I hopefully in like 5 years, 5 6 years.
Yeah, like a
Cause let's
little.
see, I'm 22 right now,
Mhm.
so I'd 6 years by then, hopefully, or at least have someone.
Mhm.
But as far as kids, nah, I probably wouldn't want kids till I'm like early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, makes sense. Around like anywhere from like.
28 to 32.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, bro. Read my mind.
Cause I mean, first of all, you gotta find someone that's down for that.
That's true. And the kid themselves, fuck, that's gonna be a headache. Huh?
Mm-mm.
Or what do you think about like curfews and shit? Like when like did you have one when you were younger? That they were
Uh,
like you have to be home by this time and shit.
I think so. I think it was well in high school. Once I got closer to senior year, it was like be home by like 10, I think.
Mm.
But I don't remember any other curfew by that. It was more of because like once I got to high school, it was more of like because since my parents knew I was doing SRLA, it was just like, oh well, you're gonna probably come home after practice, so just get home. But I mean, after a certain time, they'd be like, yo, what's up? Why aren't you here yet?
Mhm.
But it was never like set in stone
Mhm.
too much. So
So
uh,
you'd never set one.
I would never say I had one. I mean, my parents always freaked out whenever I stayed over someone's house. But that's
Mm.
for another story entirely. Because
Mm.
actually, I'm probably never going to mention that for now.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, I've told you, but
Yeah.
but yeah, they they never really were a fan of me sleeping over people's houses. They always, my dad always made the argument like that I have my own bed here. Why don't I want to just be in my own bed? Why do I have to be at someone else's house?
Yeah, how do you answer that? Like I remember, yeah, when I used to sleep over at my friend's house, yeah, my mom would sometimes get mad and say the same shit. She would be like, "What's the word? Like no seas vago." Like you have your bed here and shit. But it's like I don't know, 'cause I want to sleep over. Like I know I have a bed here, and they start this whole fucking big deal.
I'm just like, well, I mean, occasionally I just want to be with my friends.
Mhm.
Like, we want to just chill, like, be away from family. Because, I mean, you're with your family all the time. It's not a bad thing if you just want to be away from them for, like, one night.
That's true.
I mean, I haven't had a sleepover in a long time. So I wouldn't know. I don't count the time where I accidentally fell asleep at your house because that was unplanned for.
Yeah, that's true.
So as far as, like, a planned sleepover, no, I
Mm.
haven't had that for a while. Like, what I've always wondered is how my parents would react to me sleeping over like a girlfriend's house.
Um.
I mean, I've never
Well,
done it, so I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
Do you think it's easier for the guy or the girl?
the guy.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it's everything that has to do with like
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 relationships.
intimate stuff
Yeah.
with the girl is easier for the guy. 'Cause I know the first time, and it's like it's still weird to me. Like the first time I went to like Yoshi's house and I met her grandparents and stuff, 'cause she was living with her grandparents when I first met her. Like went to her house, and I remember the typical thing they would always be like, "Oh, like leave the door open, like no funny business type of shit."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like I don't know, like it's like so engraved in my mind, like that it's disrespectful, like to like, I don't know, like lay down with your girlfriend or something in front of the parents or like the grandparents or whatever. But I guess they're cool with it, because apparently when we went to what's it called, Vegas one time, like with me and her like family, they like asked me to sleep on the same bed as her, like that I could sleep on the same bed as her, and it was, I don't know, I just felt off. And then and then sometimes now, even like when we go over to the same grandparents' house, we close the door and they don't say shit, and they don't tell her anything after either. So it's like, I don't know if it's maybe because at first they think it's that whole thing, like, what are your intentions? And then now that I've been with her long enough, they're like, fuck it, like they're probably still not okay with it, but they're like, you're serious about her, so like it's whatever. But
It's like you're not the hit it and quit it guy.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's just weird. Like, I slept over at her house once, but like being sneaky. Like we sneakily, like she snuck me and I slept over. And yeah, but after that, I never slept at her house, 'cause it's just too weird. I got a little scared.
Yeah, I think I would feel a little awkward too.
Mm.
But I think it's something that I would do, like, until I've been with her, like, I want to say a little over 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, close to a year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's where I would probably feel comfortable. Like, okay, like, I'll sleep over, you sleep over. 'Cause, I mean, it also depends on how close I am with the parents.
That's
Especially with, like, a Latina, you want to get close with the
true.
father.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, the moms are always nice. It's the dad where, like, you gotta put more effort into it, 'cause he's like, oh, no, you're not gonna get that bullshit from me.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I know there are some dads who are, like, more old school. Like, you want to go up, shake their hand, like,
Yeah.
saludarle. And, well, I mean, you always want to do that. Like, you always want to greet
Like,
the
out of
parents.
respect
Yeah.
and shit.
You always want to be like, hey, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, I mean, then they're gonna be like, oh, where'd this guy come from, huh?
Yeah, for real.
Like,
They're like,
como
what?
si fuera animal or something.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, no one taught him any manners.
Oh, that reminds me of a Instagram post. I'm gonna show you it after the podcast, about like manners, like bringing people over to your house. 'Cause that's another thing, like bringing people over to your house, like without having them like greet people. Like that's like a sin.
Fucking, yeah, for real. It's just
in
like, what?
Latino families.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like afterwards, if your friends don't say hi, then your mom be telling you after they leave, like,
Yeah,
hey,
you're
what the
talking so
fuck?
much shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny 'cause it's true.
Yeah, the post I'm gonna show you, it has something to do with it.
I'm looking forward to it 'cause it's like anytime you can relate to like a post, you're always like, bruh, 'cause everyone has like similar experiences and
Dude,
shit.
especially like Latino ones. Like, I'm just like, yes, like exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like weird. It's like for the most part, most of those like memes that have to do with like Latinos, I feel like every Latino does go through the same fucking shit,
or
bro.
they witnessed it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from a friend.
Which is like, it's just amazing to me 'cause it's like, I guess that's just how Latinos are. Like, it's fucking crazy.
I love being Latino.
Me too.
Man, we should do that as a podcast
What?
topic, talking about what it's like being Latino, or at least what's our experience with being Latino.
Being Latino, I saw a post that said that pretty much sums with being Latino. Something about like living in a Latino household is like you're old enough to go out and stuff, but you still have to lie to your parents sometimes about where you're going.
Oh yeah. Oh no. It's, and then there's also that thing where it's like where you're 18, you think like you're the shit, like you can do whatever
exactly,
you want.
bro.
And then the question is, oh yeah, really? Do you pay rent?
Bro, I can't tell you how many fucking times.
¿Y la renta aquí?
I can't tell you how many times, bro. Like when I was like in high school, and I would like, I guess, stand up for myself or something. My mom would be like, "Yeah, now you think you're the shit, huh? Like you're not paying for any bills and stuff." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I'm barely in high school. What's up?" They always be like that.
Okay, wait.
It's like,
But
of
that's
course
always
not,
the
man.
first question.
Yeah, for real. And then they always rub that in your face. They're like, my roof, my rules and shit. I'm like, huh?
Oh, and
Bullshit.
this actually goes back to the sleeping over. Like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, is this a hotel to you or what's up?"
Oh, bro. Oh my god, I forgot about that shit, bro. Like every time. Yeah, every time I go sleep over, that's exactly like. Well, some like for the most part, it's like I feel like my mom's okay with it. But there's some days that I guess like I don't know, it irritates her when I sleep over, because of that whole thing. Like you have a bed here, so yeah, she's always like, "Hey, you can't treat your house like it's a hotel. Like your bed's here. This is your house or some shit like that." I'm always like, I'm not saying it's a fucking hotel. It's like I just want to sleep over at my friend's house sometimes. My fucking parents always be on your ass about all this bullshit, bro.
I never had that line used on me because I mean, like I said, I don't sleep over, and the only few times I have slept over, it's from someone they like really know. So I've never had that line with that on me. But like sometimes they'll go to like the length of being like, "We'll pick you up,"
Ah, bruh.
and I'm like, "Nah, it's alright. Don't worry. Like I'm chilling. Like don't worry about me."
Mm-hmm.
Cause I know my mom was like, she's like, "I'm okay with you sleeping over to your dad. That's not." But
Mm-hmm.
that's because my dad's like full blown Mexican, so he grew up with like the Mexican ideals.
Like strict.
Yep.
Mm.
So my
So,
dad's the one who pulls out the more of like that typical card, like, "Oh, you pay rent here or pay me rent."
so what's the plan for Evo? Because we're going to Evo this year, guys. The fighting game
Oh
convention.
yeah, I guess this would be the last thing we could touch up on before we close this show out. But yeah, if you guys don't know what Evo is, it's the biggest
Fighting
fighting game
game.
tournament of the year. We actually had wanted to do this last year, but because we weren't even sure,
Mm-hmm.
because they tend to change like when Evo happens, and I couldn't get my days off for it because it was like so short notice on how they announced Evo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then and we also weren't sure about the place to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
So like everything was just short notice, and we decided not to go. But it's always held in Vegas.
Yeah.
So on top of going out and enjoying our fighting games, we can go out and gamble. I mean, have fun.
Gamble. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, we're not condoning gambling, everybody.
No, I've never gambled, but like I've told you, the only things I'd probably play is like blackjack, the roulette, and the slot machines. Because I feel like those are the more like friendly for me, at least. Because blackjack, I've played it so much that I already know how it works.
There's only one line that I remember hearing about gambling that I was like, you're right. It was something about like only gamble what you don't mind losing. So obviously, if you don't really give a shit, losing $50 like it's nothing to you, then go for it. But obviously, if you know what you're gonna lose you're gonna be like, fuck, and you're gonna get all mad, then don't fucking gamble.
No, I think if I were to win like if I were to play the roulette and I would double the money I make, I would just stop right there. Like I'd be like, I'm not pushing my luck. Like this is a test right now. It's like saying like, "Oh, do it, bitch.
Do it.
Give us our
bitch."
money. Give us back the money you just won."
There you go. Do you think that whole thing is true that like the dealers have like they're kind of cheating, I guess, because of that whole thing that they can't necessarily lose a lot of money or the hotel will fire them or whatever the fuck?
I don't know. I haven't ever actually heard that. I'm pretty sure there are some people there that have like sleight of hand,
Mm.
and occasionally they'll be like, "Fuck it, like let's give them a win."
Yeah, yeah. We could try White Castle when we get there. It's basically the in and out of like the East Coast. And I know they have one there. That's like the only place in the West Coast that has it. So we could try that shit 'cause I never tried it.
What is it? A burger place?
Yeah.
Ah. Well, I mean, Evo is always 3 days.
Mm.
Championship Sunday.
Mm.
Evo is basically the Super Bowl of fighting games, to put it into
The best of the
like,
best.
terms.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo really wants me to compete too, so
Yeah, 'cause you always compete in what you said. You compete in a couple of lands. That's what they're called, right?
yeah.
Lands. And so like, I mean, I've seen you play. Obviously, you would need to practice because yeah, they're like the best of the best or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, dude. I'd have to play
Like you
because that's where like all the entries are huge. Like I
Mhm.
think Dragon Ball had like 2,000 entrants, probably more than that, of last year.
Fuck.
And a lot of the pros that like were like people were expecting to get out, they all got upsetted.
There you
So
go.
Evo last year for Dragon Ball at least was pretty lit because a lot of upsets happened. But I would probably play for Dragon Ball and Mortal Kombat.
I'm telling you, like, I've been wanting to see you play because I know you're good. So it's like, I'm going to be the hype man and shit. And then if you make it out of pools,
If I make it
I'm
out
be
of the
like,
pools, I'll cry.
"Bro."
Like
I'll be
I
like,
would actually probably cry if I made it out of pools.
it's like,
Cause it's one thing to do it at any land. It's another thing to do it at Evo where
exactly.
everyone's there, everyone's on their top game, and they
But you
just
got to
want to
make sure the
win.
nerves don't get to you.
Oh, that too.
Because that's a lot of people. Like, imagine, like, you get so lucky that you end up making it to top 8, bro. With all those fucking people watching you. And then you better not choke, bro. Because it's like,
Well, I mean, the funny thing to me is at the LAN I played, when I played Mortal Kombat, I wasn't nervous. Like I was like so calm when I played it. But when I played Dragon Ball,
you got nervous as
I was
fuck.
nervous as fuck. Like I was just like, damn. Cause I was playing a lot. Well, there was a lot of good people there. Like surprisingly, I was like, damn, this scene has a lot of good players. Cause there was actually a pro player there too that I recognized in Dragon Ball. I didn't get to play with him, unfortunately, because I was like, let me run some games and see if I could get better. But I was only able to run games with some Mortal Kombat players. But in the Mortal Kombat, I made top 8. So that was fun. But I lost to my friend. And then I lost to another guy that was actually pretty good.
There you go.
And that sucks. I was matched up with my friend the first match.
No. For real?
And then he was like, "Oh, this ain't fair." He's like, "Cause he was like, I know you haven't played like seriously for a while, cause I hadn't been training. I just joined just for fun." And then I was like, "Okay, let me try a different character," cause the first time I was just playing around. I was like, "I'm having fun." But he's like, "Nah, play seriously." He's like, "At least try a little bit." He's like, "I know you can do better." And so then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna take this a little seriously." All right, he's like, "Yeah, see, that was a lot better." He's like, "Do that more." I still lost, but yeah.
There you go. Well, then just focus at Evo and you should make it to the end. If we imagine if you win, bro. I'll be like, holy shit.
I'll be on that big stage.
It'll be that moment like we're all gonna come up like me, Yoshi, and we'll be like, fuck. Like I'm gonna be crying too. I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
I'll play Street Fighter.
There you go. Practice Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, it'd take a lot for me. I'd really have to sit down and play. It'd probably take up most of my time to learn because there's so much to do.
I feel like you would be really good at MK11.
I could be. I just haven't put the time into it. But Joker's coming out.
How many months do you think you need for preparation to get like to a level that you're like, I'm confident I can like at least beat a good amount of people?
I could probably do it in a month.
A month? But it would have to be like straight grinding the whole month.
Yeah, but since I got homies that play with pro players, then I'll be fine. Because they've been bothering me also like, hey, like, when you coming back, like, you gotta learn. Because they know. They tell me, they're like, we know you can do it. We know you're good. Like, you've proven that you can get good at the game. It's just you haven't put the time in yet.
There you go.
And I know it too.
Evo, baby.
But like, see, like, I don't want to mistake that confidence with cockiness. Because I've proven it to myself, and I've proven it to my friends, the people I play with in my group, that I can be good at the game. It's just lately I've been lazy. And it's just because I haven't had the same drive that I once did with like MKX and Injustice 2.
Well, just make sure you practice, because I mean, regardless if you win, I just want to see you play when we get to Vegas.
Well, I'll play regardless. Like, I'll still take like my controller and all my gear. Like, even if I end up just playing casuals with people, but I'll definitely play. Like, that's a guarantee.
Well, that's evil.
Well, I think that's a good way to end off the podcast. So if anyone does decide to go to Evo, you'll be. Oh, and I'll probably vlog it for sure. Like, that's a for sure thing. Well, that's another thing that I'd like to announce. I am gonna be uploading YouTube videos again soon. The vlogs are more for like when there's something to vlog, because usually I don't have stuff to vlog.
But yeah.
But yeah, do you got any last words for the audience, Leo?
No, just stay safe out there. Drink Theraflu. Eat the white halls, not the yellow ones, because they're ass. And yeah, have a good 2020.
Then take care, guys. Hopefully you guys are not sick. But if you're listening to this on Spotify, please be sure to follow. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Leave comments. There was someone that actually commented the other day, so I don't know the name right off the bat, but thank you for the comments. And any likes are appreciated. Any shares are greatly appreciated. And we'll see you till next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Peace.
Bye.